Good morning, everyone. So I am Prashad Janage. So let me start my presentation from now. Okay, guess who is this? Guess who is this? Yeah? Yeah, that is Donald Trump. So my topic is optimizing organizational plasticity. So plasticity. Trump we consider as the USA president. So we consider USA president as the most powerful person in the world. However, he started his presidency, and after the presidency, after he used his oath, and he danced like that. If it happened in Sri Lanka, what would happen? There will be a lot of comments from people, citizens in Sri Lanka, who is this bugger, why did we vote him? But he gave a lot of important decisions which is very valuable for their people, and most of the citizens in USA valued his decisions. That's why he got most of the votes, right? So plasticity is considerable right now. Okay, so let's consider Sri Lanka in scenario. So now we'll come to my presentation. Give me 3 to 4 minutes to explain you about Sri Lankans attitudes and the current HR behavior of the Sri Lanka. So we can think in this way. So we can consider the whole entire country as one company, and we can consider all the citizens as human resources. Okay, we can take it as public sector. Let me use this. Okay. We can consider it as public sector. Okay, and the entire country is one organization, and all the citizens would be human resources. I think there is a problem with this flip chart. I hope you can see it. Okay, so public sector. So we can take entire country as the organization, then we can consider all the citizens as HR. Who would be the HR manager of this organization? Who will be? Yeah? What do you think? Who will be the HR manager of this organization, ladies and gentlemen? President? Yeah, most of us, we can consider the executive president would be the HR manager. Yeah? Right, let's move on to the private sector now. So there we can have different private limiteds and public limited companies and sole proprietors. Oh my God. Sorry for that. Hope it is stable. Okay. All right. So now, private sector, we have sole proprietorship, private limited companies, and PLCs. So we can cover up all the organizations in one place. Now let's look at a real scenario. So now some people would think we have a good HR practices currently. Now we are thinking about the HR trends in 5 years and above. However, let's look at, do we still have the basic HR practices implemented in these organizations or public sector? What do you think? Yeah? Do all the organizations implemented the basic HR practices currently in Sri Lanka in all the private sector or public sector?
There will be changes.
Yeah, definitely. I just had a discussion with Labour Department before I come to this presentation. They told there are a lot of complaints from employees. Even, I will tell you two incidents. Student from CIPM who completed CQHRA and joined with one company in Colombo. That company has never given a appointment letter or salaries on time. So we are talking about HR trends in after 5 years. Still there are issues. And then that person has resigned from that company because that person is not getting salaries on time, and without the salary went to another company. That company, that is a media related to newspaper, that company doesn't have the primary requirements like a washroom, AC in Colombo. Think about in all over the country, right? So first of all, I believe that you are the industry leaders, you will be the industry leaders, and you should take care of these things first before we think about another 5 years. But we will keep that in mind. In these boards, we will talk about, because there are a lot of good companies who needs more improvements in HR departments. So then today we talk about that companies, but we need to think about these as well. But we will think about some real life scenarios and some case studies after evaluations from time to time. Okay, that should be done by government and the director board or the owners of those companies. So this is how I start my presentation about optimizing organizational plasticity. So let's look at what is plasticity now. So plasticity is like, it involves organization's ability to adapt, innovate and respond effective changes. Okay, so I will be in one place because if I move here and there, you would not see my presentation properly. So I will hope you can see me properly. Okay, right. So then it is basically like understanding people at work, impact of structure and culture, and improving workplace success. So whatever we do for the success. Yeah, what do you think? So what are the benefits of plasticity? If we think about the plasticity properly, then we can increase the productivity of the company and improve employee retention. So we don't need to spend more for recruitment again and again if we think about the retention of the people, right? And better team collaboration. So most of the companies don't have that team collaboration. So we talk about the team collaboration, but we don't have, okay? Most of the people have the ego sometimes, and then they talk about the team collaboration, but most of the cases it doesn't. So we need to focus on that aspect. So we need to consider that as the benefits of plasticity. So organizational plasticity boosts agility, innovation and resilience, facilitating rapid responses to change. Okay, right. So let's look at what are the key components of organizational plasticity. First one we consider as adaptability. That means the capability of adjust strategies and processes and structures in response to changing internal and external environments. We need to adapt to the changes. Environmental, so we have learned about pestile analysis, we have learned about SWOT analysis, so we learned about a lot of theories. But we need to practically apply them, and then we have to think in practical way. So some incidents would happen very immediately, so then we have to adapt. And the innovation culture. Most of the organizations have the same manual process or same pattern. People don't like, as we discussed in previous discussions, they are reluctant to change. So we need to have that innovation culture and learning organization and collaboration mindset. How should I skip from there?
Minimize here.
We can minimize, right? Otherwise, you won't say the rest of them. Oh, this is not good. All right. So there you go. So now we have collaborative mindset. Learning orientation. So we were in the second point. So then learning orientation. So always we need to promote continuous learning and development among employees. Okay? We need to get updated. And the collaborative mindset. We can encourage teamwork and open communication across all levels of the organization. So let's look at how do we do that. So once I done with that, I now have a problem of moving. Now it's done. Okay. How leadership shapes plasticity. So it can be a top to bottom approach or bottom to top approach. Okay. So however, leaders should show these by showing example. So we know that we can define leaders as show the way by going first, right? Leaders should show what should be done by going first. So that is we expect from our like government basically, right? That's why we change the government time to time. So how do we do that? The leaders can be a guiding motivation, and leaders can building trust. So we don't, like in this present government, I am not politically biased, but I am telling you example. Present government is telling that we are not doing any corruption, right? So they build trust, and then stock market has increased rapidly, right? So the trust. So if leaders show the trust, then employees would get that, and then they would work in that way. Okay, and role modeling, that is another aspect of showing the way by going first. Role modeling, and then setting the tone. So it should be implemented all over the departments. All right. So effective leaders inspire collaboration, encourage risk taking, and promote continuous learning while facilitating open communication and supporting employees through change. So now, how do we look at trust and communication? So we openly share information to build the trust. We cannot keep something in mind and tell something else. Then we cannot keep the trust. Okay? We have to stir whatever it is in openly. That's what Trump does sometimes. He's telling. Okay? So I am not getting all the models which should be done in Sri Lanka, but I am just giving you the examples. Okay? And you have seen that Elon Musk, he's an advisor of his government, and he's coming with his child and keep his child like that, and he's like addressing the gathering. See, very free, right? So that is what people need now. Sri Lankans think like, okay, we have to pretend as we big giants, right? As a president, we need to go like this. No, just be normal, okay? Right? I think that is for building trust and communication and encouraging and practicing active listening. So we know that the best communicator is the best listener. Okay? The best communicator is the best listener. So we have to practice that. And being consistent in actions and communication. Like if I tell one thing today and if I tell one thing another day, that is not consistent. You have to keep the consistency. If I do something like this, okay, I will be doing this ever and ever and again. Okay? So there should be a consistency. And creating a safe space for honest feedback. What is happening in our organization? If someone giving a feedback about the management, he is fired. Or treating as a slave. Okay, that is what is happening in most of the organizations. So we need to admit the criticizing, constructive criticism. Okay, so we have to build a safe environment for that, and acknowledging employee efforts and achievements. Even small effort would impact the organization to get to a next level. So we need to appreciate that. Okay, so remove the ego, appreciate. Clear and direct communication about goals and expectations. Some organizations are there, they have hidden goals, not disclosed into their employees. So it is not a good practice. Okay, hope you can understand about that. Now, the power of intelligence. So how do we improve organizational plasticity through this power of intelligence? Emotional intelligence. We call it as AEI. So it will affect for the improved problem solving, increased efficiency, and stronger relationships. So what is still emotional intelligence then? It is something, intelligence we have about others' emotions. Okay? So if I look at someone in this audience, I would say something. I would feel that I need to elaborate about a particular topic further. Like, if I can understand that you looking at that face, I have a good emotion. Yeah? Then I would feel that, okay, for him, before he asks the question, I would explain it further. Okay? So, if the management has that kind of an emotional intelligence, so then employees would be very happy. He can understand my feelings. Oh my God, I would work very happily, right? So adaptability so it could enhance organizational adaptability by enabling both leaders and employees to manage emotions effectively. A high level of EI cultivates empathy, improves communication, and strengthens relationships, thereby fostering a supportive culture. So hope you would implement emotional intelligence methods in your organizations in the next 5 years and beyond. What is the power of Maslow's needs hierarchy? Is it the obsolete or the traditional Maslow's need hierarchy we need at the moment? So we had baby boomers, now they are leaving from the organizations. Now we replace with GenZs. They have different requirements with the current, the requirements or needs given by Maslow's. What would be that? GenZs would need digital connectivity and access, right? And physical and psychological safety. Most of the GenZs are not thinking in the traditional way. So we have to adapt to that, right? We have to, it's like my generation is Genx. So I have to know how to work with GenZs. So, and then inclusivity and social belonging in different ways, esteem through authentic recognition, right? So we would need to give them a chance to do a TikTok in the organization as an example, all right? If a particular organization banned TikTok in an organization, they would feel embarrassed. Most of the employees in GenZs are doing a TikTok while working, and now good organizations use that to promote their products or services. Employees are doing TikTok and they are publishing that in TikTok, and then they promote their brands using the employees for zero marketing cost, right? That is how we should use that, yeah? And self-expression and identity explorations, like self-expression, right? We need to give them a icon, like we can place them as icons in the organization. He is capable of doing this person is capable of doing this, and always appreciating their work. Small work is enough to appreciate by giving a small token of appreciation. Maybe a meal, maybe organizing a particular get-together, small get-together, after evening party. So they would need that way motive. So we cannot take those as always cost. That can be an investment. Okay, what is the power of growth mindset? So after we have the emotional intelligence and think about the new Maslow's needs hierarchies, hierarchy of needs, all the employees, people have a growth mindset. So what is fixed mindset? Okay, I think this should be kept here always, right? According to that US concept, yeah, we need to keep that in this place. But it is different from the attitudes, right? The way we work, processes. If you go to a government institute, you know that they follow a particular process and then always tell that this is the process, according to the system, according to the process, we cannot do anything, sir. Sorry for that, sir. Is that the growth mindset, right? People need to exit from the fixed mindset and think about the growth mindset. That would enhance organizational plasticity by encouraging employees to embrace challenges, learn from failures. Basically, organizations have policies as zero tolerance, right? Zero tolerance. But in some place, that can be happened when it comes to the productive. How would that zero tolerance policy would impact the organization of having the growth mindset of the people, the employees, right? So we need to try, we need to give them a chance to try of doing something new, and if it gets fail, okay, it is a lesson, learn from that failure. So we need to have a room for that, okay, and then they will understand from the failures and it will foster continuous improvement. So focus on the growth mindset, not the fixed mindset. It's locked, you can see that, okay, our brain is locked. That is our, I will give you one example. Why in Sri Lanka no one, anyone has implemented anything new like Facebook, like what has invented by Elon Musk or whatever the giants in the world, right? Sri Lankan people still not have invented a big thing. Like Facebook is a small thing, but it became a big one. Yeah, that is because of the fixed mindset, right? What if one person invent something like Facebook? Sri Lankan story would change. Okay, we'll be billionaires. So we have to think about it. Okay. Now, growth mindset, and have you ever thought of implementing psychological needs and science of a human being to the organization? Okay. So we know that as per the science, we cannot change this. We have a chemistry. Whoever it is, female or male, we have a chemistry. We need to understand that. If we skip that and always focusing on something formal, that is not going to work. Okay? We have to think about the chemistry. There's a chemistry happening in us, our brain, our body. So then we need to, that there are something called as happy hormones. Okay? So we need to, most of the IT companies have given these chances. If you have worked or been there, okay, IT companies have given chances. You know that IT companies allow people or spend for software engineers or the programmers to go to a particular trip weekly sometimes. Okay, weekly trips, whatever the entertainment things. Then once they come back, they will implement or invent new module to their systems. Okay, that's why they have allowed to play carom or swimming pools. Everything is there in their whatever the places. If you think as an example, WSO2, they have a play area. Millennium IT, then now it is now London Stock Exchange in Malabe. They have a play area, swimming pools, basketball, squash, everything is there. Why? Dopamine to reward motivational chemical. So we need to allow them to listen to music, get moving, get quality sleep, eat enough protein. Then we will get dopamine. We will be happy and we will be happily working. Oxytocin, the mood stabilizer. Dinner with family or friends, give a hug, like, okay, well done. We can give a hug, right? And dance, we can dance. TikTok, right? Now we have dance. People are dancing in the lunchtime, and then they motivated and they then work another 2 hours very happily, very productive, right? And give compliments. Okay, you have done a great job. So you have done a mistake, we can adjust that in this way. Always criticizing, oh, you are wrong, you are wrong. It's not good. So we need to allow that persons to release this oxytocin, okay, and serotonin, love, contentment hormone. We call it as love hormone. So for that, yoga, spend time in nature, be in the sun, and achieving a goal. Endorphins, the painkiller. We call that hormone as the painkiller. Okay. So move your body, laugh. So you can laugh, yeah. Okay. Yes, she is laughing. She feels happy, yeah. So be creative. Have some dark chocolate. So we can have endorphins. Think of this way. Okay. I am done with 30 minutes. So I have another 15 minutes, so I will continue up to another 5 to 10 minutes.
25 minutes.
All right, first one. Okay, now I have another 5 more minutes. All right. The power of learning and development. Now, this is learning and development. So if you have learned something new, that is the power. If you implement this in your organization, that is the power. Okay? Do I need to explain more about it? No. You learn something new. Implement that when you work within your organizations. And driving motivation. So what would drive motivation for a positive culture? We can have motivation as two parts, intrinsic and extrinsic. Extrinsic motivation. So motivation comes as, so what that is what we discussed in those power of emotional intelligence, growth mindset, everything. Now we have everything in one place. So intrinsic motivation as personal satisfaction, inherent interest, self-improvement, and long-term engagement. Engaging in a particular work within a long time period. Extrinsic motivation, external rewards, maybe a token of appreciation, maybe a small gathering, maybe allowing persons to dance or something like that. And goal achievement, recognition and praise. Okay, we have to always praise. So you have done a great job. Wow, that is fantastic. So you can improve this way. Okay, so you can always have a positive vibe with all the team, right? Always criticizing, this person has this what do you call attitude, this person is this way. Why don't we get together and have come to one platform and work happily? Yeah, criticizing should be constructive. So recognition and praise, performance incentives. So finally the money motivation should be there. So we need to allow people to get some incentive in different strategies. Okay, not by giving just a salary. It can be broken down into different phases. This is your basic salary. This is if you do like this, you will get this kind of an incentive. Then we can motivate them in different ways. And the impact of gender equality. Now we cannot think this is male, this is female. Okay, everybody has an equal right. And so, what is the impact of gender equality? Employee behavior. It promotes a culture of respect, reducing conflict and enhancing teamwork. We cannot say that this is a female, this is a male. We are all one team. Okay, we have the same chemistry in most of the cases. A workplace atmosphere. Gender equality promotes an inclusive workplace by encouraging respect, diversity, and collaboration. If we respect people by not looking at their gender, it will be a very nice place. Okay, so sometimes in organizations, female are afraid to mingle with male, right? Because male think that female is a bad cat. So that is our culture. So we need to go away from that. Allow female to mingle with males and respect them. That is wonderful approach, and it will come to the organizational success. Then female will be able to work long hours, maybe at night shifts. Then it will be a nice cultural thing. Okay, and creating inclusive workplaces. So we need to have a pleasant, nice workplaces and make the nice environment of a place. So we need to invest for that. Then people will get motivated and work nicely. They have all the facilities. They will have a coffee to if they need. So inclusive workspace. So it would enhance creativity and driving innovative solutions to challenges, and higher employee engagement, boost morale and job satisfaction, and finally greater commitment to organizational goals. Okay. By concluding my speech about optimizing organizational plasticity today, I would say by optimizing plasticity, organizations can effectively navigate challenges, positioning themselves for sustained growth and resilience. So if public sector and the private sector can implement these methods, so we would have a good country and we would have a lot of good places to work, then we will be a happy nation. Okay, so hope you will take this message to the public and do something big. All right, so all right, so then if you need to contact me, so then this is my contact number and the email. Now it is open for your questions.
How do I define plasticity to a man on the road?
Man on the road?
Yes, somebody who doesn't know this.
Define, right?
Yeah.
That is a good question. So we can, it is challenging for me. So now he has to adhere to the existing rules. He need to cross the road through the white road. Okay. If he doesn't do that, we need to use media or some kind of awareness program to give them the knowledge. Okay. And so I'm always telling that I'm politically biased. Training Sri-Lanka is something like that. So they have implemented that to optimize the plasticity. I heard their vision and mission. Okay. So consider me as not politically biased. I'm telling you that is. That is how we can introduce the plasticity to citizens. So that is done by the public sector, our CEO, the HR manager, executive president.
If I were to define what is organizational plasticity to a man on the road, what should I tell him?
Yeah, we are in one. So if you are going to like give an explanation to him, so we are in one organization. You and me are in one organization. That is we call as Sri Lanka. So then you have to adhere to the rules and regulations implemented by the government to make our life easier. So we have to cross the road through the white lines, and we have all the drivers should drive vehicles with the limited the speeds given in different places according to the route motor traffic regulations. So we can tell them that you have to follow. These are the acts. So how do we manage people's life in a country using acts? Right? Acts. So then we need to give the knowledge them. If you break that rule, you will get these fines by the court. So we have to tell them if he is not obeying that, I mean, if he is not think it as a human being, then we have to, I mean, emphasize him that you need to obey the rules given by the government. Otherwise, you will be penalized by the court. Okay.
How do you see policies, procedures, and standardization? Because in topic what we have discussed, state versus private, standardization is a problem today.
Yes, true.
On a chart,
Yes.
for example, you take the normal laws for the public sector.
Yes.
And a normal example, Chopin is that. They contradict everything Chopin. So how is this plasticity that you have discussed now is going to be, I mean, if you have an approach to that, 5 years, standardization is very important.
Exactly. Good point. I really like your question.
How do you?
I would suggest like this. Now, government can initiate that, right? So they can initiate through a particular ministry. There are a lot of ministries. They can sit together with the giants in the private sector. Then they can discuss what are the things that is not aligned with the government rules, and what are the things that not align with the practices of the private sector, and then they can have a discussion, and then they can take to debate in the parliament. So they are debating some foolish things sometimes. They can debate in that. We have a lot of doctors and a lot of people in parliaments now, okay, and some experienced ministers, some old parliamentarians are very experienced. So then they can initiate a debate, and then they can come up with a particular, maybe an act, maybe a solution, and then they can make it as a wide approach to be applicable to anyone in the country.
Okay, failing that, what is your approach with regard to the private sector? They have employees formation.
Yeah.
You have chamber. You have various type of institutions.
Yes.
Who are involved in this. What do you think the approach should be in this with regard to the private sector?
So we have organization of professional OPA associations. So we can go to that it is in Torrington. So we can come up with the OPA office, and then we can ask them to initiate something like this. All the institutions like GMOA, Computer Society of Sri Lanka, Architecture Association, Chartered Accountants of Sri Lanka, everything, all the organizations is under the OPA hierarchy, right? So OPA is the main, and then all the organizations. So then they can initiate. So all the private sector represent organization of professional associations. So that is done. We have a structure. Only the problem is we are not working towards to get something done. Lot of brilliant and intelligent and knowledgeable people are there. We need to get the work, get their skills to develop. Like Dr. Hans came for the digitalization, so it is a good positive impact to our country, right? So I think that would be a great approach, in my opinion. Any questions? I hope you are clear with optimizing organizational plasticity, and I hope you will implement those things in your organization and be happy. Let's be happy, right? So let's live a happy life. We have a small life. Let's live it happily. Thank you very much then. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to me.